Hello friends, welcome to this video. In this video, we are going to build a pre-trained unit architecture where we are going to use MobileNet version 2 as the pre-trained encoder. To learn more about it, make sure that you watch the complete video and subscribe the channel. To support the channel, take the membership. By taking membership, you are not only helping for my research, but in return, you will be getting more content. So do check out the membership. Here we are in our Atom text editor and we have a Python file. Now we'll start writing the code for the MobileNet version 2 unit. So basically unit with MobileNet version 2 as the pre-trained encoder. First of all, we are going to import all the functions and layers. First we have import the TensorFlow. Okay. Now I will show you the version of the TensorFlow which I am using. It should be print, not printf. Don't do the same mistake as I am doing. Okay, so I'll try to run this. Okay, so you can see I'm using TensorFlow 2.5.0. Now we're going to import rest of the functions or classes. So here we have imported the required layers, the model class, and the very important MobileNet version 2. Okay, now I'll start building the basically the MobileNet version 2 unit. Okay, we're gonna call it def build MobileNet version 2 unit. Okay, so this is the name, and this function takes an input shape. Basically, input shape is a tuple of height with the number of channels. So if I'm going to write it, it should be like, let's say 512 by 512 by 3. Okay, so this, the input shape is a tuple like this. Is this okay? So next, first of all, we would need to build an input layer. So we're going to say inputs equals to, here we're going to use our input layer, and it would take a parameter called shape, and we would give it the input shape variable. Okay, so now we have an input layer ready. Now we're going to load our pre-trained MobileNet version 2. Okay, so this is our pre-trained encoder. So we're going to say encoder equals to MobileNet version 2. So first of all, we don't need any classifier in the top of that model. Okay, so we just need to extract the features from there. So we're going to say include top equals to false. So this basically means we don't want it to act as a classifier. Okay, we would give it a image and it would give us a feature like in term of, let's say 16 by 16 by something, that much size. It would, we don't want like 1000 nodes. Okay, 1000 image classifier, basically what it is used for on the ImageNet. Next we're going to load the weights in it. Weights is equals to ImageNet, and the next is input. So we're going to say input tensor equals to inputs. Okay, so this is, we have loaded this pre-trained encoder. Now the next thing is the alpha equals to, okay, now this is alpha 1.2. so let me just first of all go through the guide available in this documentation, the TensorFlow API documentation. So you can see you can also use this a way to import the MobileNet version 2, but this way is also correct, which we are using. So here you can see the MobileNet version 2 class, and it has various parameters in it, and out of those the one is alpha, which is by default value 1.0. so we can go below. So it's a floating point value between 0 and 1. Control the width of the net, or basically number of filters in each layer, and it is also known as width multiplier. Okay, now we'll go here. If alpha is less than 0, proportionately decrease in the number of filter in each layer. If it is greater than 1, proportionately increase in the number of filter in each layer. And the default value alpha equals to 1. The default number of filters from the paper are used at each layer. So this is basically one parameter you can use to control the number of filters in each layer. Now it's up to you what value you want to set. Currently I would use the default value alpha equals to 1.0, but I will show you if we increase or decrease what is the effect on the number of parameter, the total number of parameters. Okay, now we work on the encoder part. Okay, So this complete architecture would act as the encoder and even the bridge. But for the encoder part, we will extract the skip connection, okay, from here. First of all, we say encoder dot summary here. So we're gonna print the summary and we need the name. And also for all of you guys who write this code in a Jupyter notebook or on Google Colab, please make sure that you run the entire code again. What you guys do, I think, but I feel the issue is you just run this code in one line, okay, then you run this cell again, then naming changes, okay. So what I'm going to show you, okay, let's call this function here, then I will show you what I'm trying to say. Okay, so we've called this function and we're going to say 512 by 512 by 3 as the input. Okay, so you can see the number of parameter in the mobile net, and these are the names, okay. So these are name once assigned to a variable. Now if in Jupyter notebook, if you run the same cell again, the same name would not be assigned to that variable, name would be different always, okay. So that's why things, these codes have problem when you run it, because every time I run it in terminal and every time the environment is new. It's not like Jupyter notebook that it's remain, the environment is not the same always, it's always different. So okay, we are in the summary. Now we need to extract the proper skip connection. So in the unit we have 4 skip connections. So basically we need 4 skip connection and 1 feature map for the bridge, the bottleneck part that connects the encoder and the decoder. So we're going to say S1 equals to encoder, and to get the layer we're going to say get layer class, not the class, the function name. Here we need to write the name of the layer and we're going to say output. Okay, so like this we would have 4 skip connection. So we're going to write them S2, S3 and S4. Okay, so these are all the 4 skip connection. Now the size of skip connection S1 should be of the shape 512 by 512. So we're going to get a feature map of the shape 512 by 512. So we're going to go up and start checking the shape. Okay, so you can see initial input layer, that is the input image, have a shape of 512 by 512, and after that it's became 256 by 256. So you can see the only option here is input one if you want to use skip connection with this shape. Okay, so this is done. So we're going to say 512 by 512. Next it would be of size half the initial, that is 512 by 512 divided by 2 became 256 by 256. So now we need the name of the layer with the size 256 by 256. Okay, so we're gonna find here you can see block 1 expand ReLU. So this is the layer and it's a ReLU. So try to use the activation function as a skip connections. They are much better than the convolution and the Bayes normalization or any other. After that you can see the size changes to 257. We need a skip connection of shape 256 by 256. So we're going to copy this from here and paste it here, and here I'm going to comment it out. Let's say it's 256 by 256. Next we need 128 by 128, and here we're going to use block 3 expand ReLU. Okay, I'm going to write 128 by 128. Next would be of size 64 by 64. Okay, let's go. Okay, you can see block 6 expand ReLU. Okay, so we have our 4 skip connections ready. Now we need them for the bridge. Before that, let's print the shape and check it them once there's any issue or not. Give S2, then S3 dot shape and S4 dot shape. Okay, now for one time we're going to print this encoder summary of. Okay, you can see the first skip connection of shape 512 by 512, number of channel 3, because it's initially an input image only. On this input image you can apply some convolution layer and then use it as skip connection also. Second is 256 by 256, third is 128 by 128, and fourth is 64 by 64. So basically the shapes matter. Okay, next, okay, so this part is done. Now we need the bridge part, the bottleneck. So we're gonna say b1 equals to encoder dot get layer. Now we need the name of the layer with the shape 32 by 32. So we're gonna go above and here we're gonna copy the name block 13 and we're gonna say output, and its shape is 32 by 32. Okay, so now the part of the pre-trained network is complete here. From here the decoder starts and we have to write it from scratch. Okay, so we're gonna say decoder. This part is really easy. It's just here you just need to check the shape, okay, how they work and how you manage them. That's all important here. Rest is okay. Now for the decoder, first of all we are going to build the convolution block. So basically convolution block is just a simple block with convolution layer followed by Bayes normalization and then activation, and these three same layers are repeated again. So we're going to say def con block. This convolution block is used in encoder, but here we have replaced the encoder with a pre-trained network. That's why we don't require it in the encoder. We're going to say inputs, then we're going to need number of filters. Okay, next we're going to say we're going to call the convolution layer. First it take the number of filters, then the kernel size. So here we're going to use a kernel of 3 by 3. As we are using a symmetric kernel, so I'm going to write 3 only, and it will automatically assume its symmetric kernel is there. Padding equals to same. Then we're going to provide an inputs. Then it is followed by the Bayes normalization. X as the input, then the ReLU activation function. Okay, so these 3 layers are done. Now we need to repeat these 3 layers again. Now the input for the second convolution layer would be the output of the first activation function. So this convolution block is done. Now we're going to return X here. Next comes the decoder block. So decoder block takes the input, that is previous feature map. Here the first decoder block would take the bridge. Okay, so let's assume we are writing this for bridge. So here the input would be the B1. Okay. Second, it takes the skip connection feature map. Okay, so we're going to call it skip. Third, it takes number of filters. Okay, so first of all the input passes through a transpose convolution, basically a 2 by 2 transpose convolution. So we can call this function con 2D transpose. First it take number of filters, then the kernel size, that is 2 by 2. Again a symmetric kernel. You can provide a single value, or even you can use it like this, even provided this way. Oh, I'm sorry, like this. Okay, so this way, instead of writing a single 2, you can provide a set. Here I'm going to provide a strides value of 2 because we want to double the resolution. So the input would be of size 32 by 32. The output of the transpose convolution, that is X, would be of shape 64 by 64. Here the padding is going to be same. So the size of X is 64 by 64. So skip connection should be of the same shape, that is 64 by 64. The skip connection S4 would be used in the first decoder block. So we're going to use a concatenation operation in. So we're going to concatenate X and the skip here. Next come the convolution block. We're simply going to write con block, X as the input and number of filters, and we're going to return the output of the convolution block. So this is all about the decoder block. So you're gonna say D1 as a first decoder block. Input would be B1, skip connection S4, and number of filters, let's say 512. So like this, we need 4 more decoder blocks, not 4, 3, a total number of 4 decoder blocks. So we are going to rename them to D1, D2, D3, D4. Now let's move to the second decoder block. So input for the second decoder block would be output of the first decoder block, that is D1. Skip connection would be S3, and number of filters would be reduced by half. So in the decoder part, the resolution of the feature map increased by 2. Okay, so the resolution initially was 32 by 32 and it expands to 64 by 64 in the first decoder block, and then a number of filters start to decrease by half. Okay, so resolution doubles and number of filters reduces by half. Okay, so both by a factor of 2, one increases, another decreases. Okay, so same thing we're going to do for the third decoder block. Input would be output of second decoder block, skip connection S2, and number of filters would be half of 256, that is 128. And like this for the decoder block fourth, S1 as a skip connection and number of filters as 64, that is half of 128. So the decoder block is complete now. So the output of D4 would be of the shape 512 by 512. Now we're going to print their shape and check the output of each decoder block. So let's run it once and check. Okay, so you can see D1 has a shape of 64 by 64, then 128, then 256 by 256, and at last with the same shape as the original input, that is 512 by 512. Let's do one thing, follow our comments and say 64 by 64, then 128 by 128, and here we're going to say 256 by 256. Commenting is also important. Okay, so do prefer to comment your code while writing it. It's important, like I've say pre-train in mobile version 2 encoder, then bridge, then decoder, so it's easy for other guy, the one other who is looking at your code doesn't know much about it, so you can easily identify. Output. Okay, so at last we need the output layer for generating the mask. So we're going to say outputs equals to form 2D. So here the number of filter would depend upon number of classes. Okay, if you are working on binary segmentation, then this it would be 1. In binary segmentation only one main class is there, but if you are working on like multi-class segmentation, like you have 3 classes, so you're going to write 3. Okay, but here let's consider it for binary segmentation, which I mostly do, and number of the kernel size is 1 by 1, padding equals to same, and here activation function would depend upon the type of segmentation you are doing. If it is binary, it would be sigmoid, and if it is multi-class, it would be softmax. Okay, so here we are doing binary segmentation, so activation would be sigmoid and input would be D4. Now we're going to say model equals to model inputs, then outputs, and name we would give it like mobile net version 2 unit. Now we're going to return the model. Okay, so this entire thing is completed now. We have built it successfully, the unit with mobile net version 2 as pre-trained encoder. Now we're going to print the summary. Okay, so you can see the number of parameters. You can say 1, 10, 100. Okay, so you can now control the number of parameter. Okay, especially in the encoder part, the pre-trained encoder. So let's say if you write alpha equals to 0.5, we have reduced by half. So you can see initial parameters, and now so you can see they decreases. And if I say like 1.2. Okay, should be 1.2, not 0.12. So they would definitely in. Okay, so do you have specific value for alpha like 0.35, 0.5, 751, then 1.3 and 1.4? So let's try 1.4. Okay, so weight file need to be downloaded. So there's specific weight file for specific alpha value. So here you can see the number of parameter increases. So that's how you can control. And in the decoder part, you can control these number of filters from here. You can reduce them according to your need. Okay, it's not exactly that you need to follow the one I have written straightly. It's up to you, because increasing the giving huge number of parameter to a network may lead to overfitting, because now model start to memorize everything, the every data set you give it. So initially you should start with simple network with less number of parameter, then you should gradually increase them according to your need. Okay, so this is all about the MobileNet version 2 unit. Okay, I hope you understand it and get things clear. If you have any issue, question, query, then please comment below. And hope you are enjoying my content. If you really like it, then please share it with your friend and do check out the membership.